here's our next question. What is the difference between bisexual and pansexual? Now, there was supposed to be a pansexual host as well here, but pansexual host could not make it. And so I'm going to field this all on my own with some help from Qwordy, who also has knowledge, right?
I have some knowledge.
You have some knowledge. Okay. So let's just start with linguistically. Bisexual, the bi means two and pan means all. And so kind of on the surface, basically, if you look at these two words, bisexual sort of addresses attraction to two different options, and pansexual kind of is attraction to all the options. Now, when you break these down culturally, because the definitions have changed over the years, bisexual started out as attraction to men and women. Mm-hmm. And that kind of developed into a much more broad, much more inclusive label, which it now is. And now it kind of means attraction to at least two genders or to at least two options, and which includes, two
or more,
everything, basically at least two or more, attraction to not just one. And some people think of it as attraction to similar genders or different genders, two options. Some consider it to be attraction to people with a gender and agender, two options. Some people consider it to be, just what it used to be, which is men and women. Mm-hmm. But that includes trans men and trans women, because trans men are men and trans women are women. And but the thing is that it's an inclusive enough label that a lot of pansexuals identify as bi as well. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, these two labels overlap a lot. They are very, very similar labels, which is why they're considered to be under the same umbrella, which is why there's only the B in the acronym. And it's kind of the same. We are kind of the same. Whatever. We're the same kind of creature. The flags are very similar. The flags are very similar. The bi flag is blue, purple, pink, and the pan flag has a yellow stripe in the center. And a lot of pansexuals identify as bi as well. And it is true that the distinction matters to some people, which is the bottom line. These are very similar, but the distinction matters to some people. And it seems to matter more to the bisexuals than the pansexuals. Now, here's my personal take on it, which I haven't really heard a lot of other people say, mm-hmm. Which is, I feel, for me, that the gender of a person is a part of my attraction. So I am attracted to someone because they are a man or because they are a woman. It just doesn't matter whether they are a man or a woman. Sure. Whereas pansexuals often report that they don't care what the gender is. It doesn't, they're like, I'm attracted to a person, not a gender. I'm attracted to a person, not whatever's in their pants. And I don't really feel that way. I really feel like it matters to me whether you're a man or a woman. I just am capable of being attracted to both. Mm-hmm. And that is why I kind of stick with the bi label and not the pan label, even though I know that I do have, the potential to be attracted to trans people and agender people and androgynous people and non-binary. It's just, I kind of, because the gender does matter to me, that's what I feel like for me is the difference. And I just also have never really thought to consider myself pan. Of all the ways that I have questioned my sexuality, which is a lot, I never really, pan just was never a thing I needed to feel and I needed to explore. Mm-hmm. So that's that.
I think another interesting thing about it is that a line that I've heard describing the difference is that there's not a full difference between them, except that the definition or the label itself matters to some.
Right.
Forget the direct quote that it was, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
The distinction matters to some.
People.
There's also kind of like one of the other ones I've heard, and you'd have to confirm this one for me, or just we can discuss, is that with bisexual, it's not always like a 50-50 split of attraction.
Right.
There are bisexuals who are slightly more attracted to men versus women and there's with pansexual, it's like it doesn't matter. I like everyone. And that's another distinction that I've seen portrayed for other bisexuals, at least.
That's a good point. That's another thing that we, struggle with a lot in the like internal community thing is like, if you're a 90-10 bisexual, are you still bisexual? Or if you're an 80-20 bisexual, are you still bisexual? The answer to all those questions is yes.
It's no ground beef at this point. And are you grass-fed or pasture-raised? Sorry, I work at a grocery store.
Okay. Okay.
Kidding. Yes, you are.
That's okay. Anyway, moving right along. Yes. Yes. I don't know. I think pansexuals can probably have a preference as well. Probably. If you are pansexual and you have a preference, that's legit. You're still pansexual. It just seems to be the vibe that for a lot of them, they report that it really doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. That just seems to be what I hear.